Hi Flosstube, my name is Kirsty, Crafting Kirsty here on YouTube and Instagram. This is a video about my cross stitching whips and some of my finishes and a little bit of haul, teeny tiny bit. It is Wednesday 13th of October and this is Flosstube number 9. So I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a good couple of start that again, excuse me. I hope you had a good last 2 weeks of September and the start of October has gone well for you. Which way do I want to do this? I'll go with Flosstuber. So I've worked my way through all the English Flosstubers I could find, and I had, I'm not going to be shouting out quite so many in future just to keep the videos a bit shorter. One lady I'm just going to bring my notes over here so I keep on not staring into the distance. One lady I would like to mention is, I think you say it, Ezia. I'm sorry if you don't. And she is the New York Dreamer Needleworks. She only has a couple of floss tubes out, I think there's 3 or 4, but she is the designer behind New York Dreamer Needleworks. And I think probably the ones that everyone knows the most are the pillows of autumn time, springtime, summer and winter time. And I've seen a lot of people stitch them. They're really pretty. In Flosstube number 2, she goes back and shows a few of her previous patterns that she's released and obviously a few previous whips that she's done. And at the moment she's doing a whole load of rolling pin designs. So yeah, you literally cover a rolling pin with the designs. And I think there's Santa's cookies and autumn time and just for various themes throughout the year. And her latest video that she put up actually shows you how to finish your piece around the rolling pin. So yeah, so go and say hello to her and give her some support. She's quite amusing. She's also started quilting, so it's nice to see that. But yeah, she's new to Flosstube, so go and say hello. And the other thing I wanted to mention quickly was the great floss drop trade, which I wasn't going to join in with, and then I have joined in with it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And I was, in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, I'll show all the floss drops, throughout my floss tubes. Well, to be honest with you, I've swapped so many that we would be here for a very, very long time. But what I am going to say is that I have on my Instagram, I have sort of done it every week or so. I've just put a post of the ones that I've received recently, and I've tagged everyone in the post to their card. So if you go onto my Instagram account and you have a look through and you think, oh, that's a really pretty card, I wonder whose that is. If you tap on the picture, it should bring up the Instagram account that is linked to, and then you can go and find them and ask if they want to trade with you. But I've really, really enjoyed doing it. There's some lovely cards coming through, and it is really nice getting, happy mail in the post. It's always quite exciting. So I think that's it really. I'm going to start with my whips. I changed my rotation, as I think I mentioned in my last floss tube, so I'm no longer sort of doing it as either dates of the month or hashtags. I'm just tending to work on 2 projects for a full week, one in the morning and one in the evening. So theoretically I should have 8 projects to show you. I've only got, I think, 6, possibly 7, because obviously great plans and all that, but I am really enjoying doing it that way, and it's taken a lot of the pressure off. I really enjoy picking up a piece, making a decent amount of progress on it, but also it's freed up. I sort of feel a bit more, I've got more time to do other things, and quilting, I've really got back into that, making a lot of table toppers and things at the moment, but I just feel like I've got the time to do it, and because I'm not just spending one day of the month, that's the only thing I can do that day. Anyway, enough waffling, let me show you what I've been working on. In no particular order. Oh, and the other thing is, because I'm refusing to edit, I know how to edit, I can edit, I edit, I send it off, I try and bring it back again, and my phone just goes no. Computer says no, not doing it. And it just drives me insane. So what I have done is I took photos from last month's floss tube of where I was. So I'll show you that first, hopefully, and then you'll be able to see the progress that I've made, hopefully. So the first piece I worked on was Sunday, I don't know if it's meeting or morning, Sunday either, meeting or morning, by Diane Gravener, which I probably haven't said correctly, so I do apologise. And this is where I was last time. So I've got 2 people, 3 people and a cat, a bit of snow. So I picked it up and I have now got, see all of this? I've now got a couple more people, a dog, and up here we're starting on the background scene of the sort of the house and the hedge, and these are basically the furrows in the field, I suppose. Now this, if you look at it, is green. And when I first started stitching with it, I thought, because it looks browner, that sort of, I don't know, is it sepia? That I don't know. It looks lighter brown in the picture. And up close, I didn't particularly like it. I thought, no, I just don't like this. But actually, when you looking at it from here, it is correct. Well, obviously it's correct. It's what she's charted, but it is correct. It looks a lot better. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. This does stitch up quite fast. So this is an entire cross stitch, but all the snow is half stitch. And I think I'm doing this is with 1 strand. Everything else is with 2. But yeah, it does stitch up because it's just quite sort of block stitching. So it does stitch up really quickly, but I'm really, really enjoying this and I'm pleased with how much progress I have made. So that was Sunday meeting or morning. The next project I worked on was my Sleepy Hollow from the Cricket collection. I love this. There's a few people stitching this now. One lady, I've forgotten her name, sorry, has just finished it, and she's finished it as the 3-fold. And it looks, all the 3 panels, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I think last time this is one of these ones you're going to have to chase around. Yeah, we're going to chase this around the screen. No. Okay, we'll give up with that. I think last time I had got the majority of this middle panel done, but not filled in. So I filled the middle panel in. So I filled the big mound. I've done the tree. I've done the wording. I'll come back a bit so you can see it so far. And then I had a slight heart failure because I'm now on to the 3rd panel, which is the farmhouse with the pumpkins. And I was looking at my fabric, and I was looking at the 3rd piece, and I was looking at the fabric, and I was looking at the 3rd piece, and I was thinking, it's not going to fit on there. Oh crap, it's not going to fit on there. I'm going to have to count it. And I thought, I can't count it. If I've counted this wrong, I'm going to be furious, because this has taken a decent amount of stitching in this, to be fair. And I am literally an inch short, 1 block short. My fault completely. I don't know how I've done it. I just know that I've done it, and it doesn't surprise me that I've done it, but I don't know how I've done it. So it's not going to quite fit. So what I've done, or what I'm going to do, or what I've started to do is, let's see if I can do this pointing the wrong way. So this tree is coming across. I say it is. Yeah, so I've moved the tree across, so it just starts underneath, or this bush, or this small tree, underneath this bigger tree, so it's just come across. And then where the house and the tree are, I'm going to lose about 3 lines of stitching there, because, you know, the tree essentially disappears behind the house, so it doesn't really quite matter at which point it disappears behind the house. So I'm going to move that so that then comes in a bit, and I should imagine this pumpkin will get scooched over. And then, yeah, that should then fit in. Oh, I could have cried. I could have cried. I was just, I don't believe I've done that. But anyway, that had another 5 or so days on it. So I've got 1 page left. I doubt I'll get it done in 1 week, because as I said, there is a lot of stitching in it, but it will come back out at some point. The next pattern I picked up was my Long Dog Sampler Quilts. Love this. Absolutely love this. It's so much fun to stitch. I did post a photo on Instagram and it just doesn't do the colours justice. It is fantastic. And let me see if I can find you. Here we go. All right, this is one where I've had to twiddle it now. Will this stay? So as you can see-ish, it'll flip in a minute. As you can see, I had the couple, one house, and half a house or barn done. So I picked this up and this is one of the weeks where I've lost one of the pieces or where I've done less, not worked on two. I've only worked on this one throughout the week because it's so easy, block stitching. I can do it in the mornings just as easy in the evenings. And so I'm now up to here. So I've managed to take the top border across, brought the side border down, all the stars across, finished the block, finished the house, done the church. And yeah, I've just got a bit of work in this corner, or quite a bit of work in that corner to do. And I will have the top section. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. One's quite small. Yeah, top 1 of 5 done. So I'm really pleased with how much progress I've made on that. Oh, and the dog underneath the church. Yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying that one. And as I said, very pleased on the progress. So that will come back out at some point. Now the next one I worked on was my Owl Forest embroidery, Merry Christmas. I finished Merry and I'm now onto the word Christmas. So I started with the C. Now I had thought, because I can normally get these done, I think I was getting these done in 3 days. And I had thought, well, with a week I should get 2 done, but I didn't. We had a very busy weekend because my weeks randomly run from Wednesday to Wednesday, or from whenever the first of the month runs from. This one, it ran from Wednesday to Wednesday. Very busy weekend and just one day where I didn't really pick up any stitching. But anyway, I've got the C done. Very pleased with this. There are a few counting mistakes in here. I don't know where, I don't know why, I don't know how, but it fits. So that is the C of Christmas. Try and move that out of the way. And they really don't take very long when you get down to it. I just didn't seem to get down to this. And then the last, or the first, or the last whip, or my last bit that I've worked on anyway, whatever. The next project is the monthly sampler for March. And now this is these are quite heavy stitching, the tops and the bottoms. So, oh no. So this is where I was last time. I had the grass, the house, the couple and half of the bottom border done. Sorry, excuse the glare. And I have now filled in the bottom border, done a tree next to the house, the cloud, and started on the words. So the majority of this up here is words and a couple of clouds and a kite. So that really won't take very long when I get back to it. And then it is this top border that is again going to be a bit of a beast of a stitch. But it's fine. Once you've got, I always put, so as you can see on the top border, I will do the word first and the little kites either side of the word. I'll put those in first and then just fill in around it. So when you get going on it again, it's absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Then I had a start and a finish. And I have fully finished it, I'm pleased to say. So in the back of my mind, I kept on and on thinking, actually, initially I was thinking about this fabric, which is the 28 count Graziano, in natural and cream. I was thinking, I really want to try stitching on it. I've always liked this fabric. Found it at the shop in Great Yarmouth. I want to try stitching on it. And I also bought the pattern in Great Yarmouth of Summer Gingham from Twisted Threads. And I was thinking that might take me long, and it didn't. I think it only took me 2 possibly 3 days. And I was in Hobbycraft buying something else, for the frame, and here we go. So I really like this. It was very, very easy, very quick stitch. I don't think I stuck to the colours. Sorry, I can't remember. I think I just pulled my own colours. I can't remember if I've said this before, so if I have, I'm sorry. But I bought a whole load of anchor threads from a lady on Facebook Marketplace once, and I've bobbinated them all and converted them to the DMC colours. So I just have this sort of box of, well, quite a lot of anchor threads really. And so for smaller patterns like this, where there's not too much shading and, you know, all the rest of it, it's just as easy to pull it out of there and use those. So I think that's probably what I did, particularly because I have a lot of this brown. Is it 801? I seem to have a lot of that. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. Started, finished and framed. Now the next finish I had, I think I have shown on Instagram. And so this is October from the Waxing Moon Designs monthly sampler or monthly series, which obviously March I'm doing at the moment. So I started with October last year, and I decided I wanted to put it on a tripod. As you come in through the front door, I've got a chest of drawers which actually houses all of my cross-stitching stuff in the hallway. And I thought, well, that'll be a nice, good area for a display. So in Hobbycraft, I found this a very, very simple, put it together yourself tripod. I think it was £4.50. They had it in black. I think they had it in white, and they might have had it in just plain. Don't quote me on that though. And I thought, well, that will do. So this I finished very simply because I'm just a simple girl really. And on the back I've put, this is just brushed cotton that I'd used for a different project. And I literally have just pinned it at the sides. And it sits nicely on my tripod. And it does look very good, I have to say, even with not much else, it looks very good. And this really has motivated me to get the other, I mean, I've got through till March, I'm working on March at the moment, but having had one finished up where I was hoping to put it, I really do like them. I'm very pleased I'm doing them, and I will obviously finish off doing the rest of them. But yeah, so that was another finish, or a fully finished. And then the next piece that I fully finished this month came out of my bag of shame. And there's a bit of a story to this. So I'll show you initially. I took a finished cross-stitch piece, and I've turned it into a project bag. And so, now I don't know if you can read the words. I will read them to you in a minute, because I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats wondering what it is. That's the backing. It's a zip top project bag from, I followed Celeste Creates tutorial. Absolutely fantastic. That's the inside, which are skulls. I prefer the zip top. I'm not too worried about vinyl. I prefer the zip top, and I always make, you know, I thought if I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it that bit bigger, so that you're not catching the edges of your charts as you pull them out. So it reads, ghosts, goblins, spooks galore, scary witches at your door, jack-o'-lanterns smiling bright, wishing you a haunting night. So this piece, when I first started cross-stitching, I wasn't on social media particularly. I think I just got onto Facebook because I was very behind with it all. I wasn't really interested. And I went onto Facebook, found Facebook cross-stitching group, and so joined it. And they had a challenge going for a month where I didn't know what I was doing at the time. And basically it was 2 shops that divided you into teams, and then, you know, you had, I mean, as all these monthly things do today, stitch with blue, or stitch on a pattern that includes an elephant, or, all those sorts of challenges throughout the month. You were assigned to a team, and then you had to post every day. Points were added together on whichever team won. And the general basis of it was that obviously between the two shops, they would hope that you would buy from them, which is, absolutely fine. Of course you would. So as I said, I was new to it, went, yay, I'll join into that, got put on a team, looked at all the prompts. And at the time I was a monogamous stitcher. I thought, I'm not going to film any of those with the project I'm working on at the moment. So I went to the shop I was on the team of. Nothing really appealed. So I eventually came across this pattern and thought, well, I'll do that, because that'll tick 2 or 3 boxes of the challenges. And then I bought this fancy floss, or, over-dyed floss, because I thought, well, that covers 2 or 3 challenges as well. And also the fabric, up, down, up, down, up, down. And also the fabric. So I thought, well, that covers another couple of challenges. And then with the other project I'm working on, I'll probably get about, 12, 15 challenges that I can contribute towards, and that'll be it. So, and as I said, I was a monogamous stitcher at the time, and I think I was stitching from a kit as well. And so I bought the pattern, which was PDF, that was absolutely fine. I bought the floss, thinking, oh, that's quite expensive. It's not, obviously, now that I know what fancy floss is and over-dyed fabrics and things, it's not expensive in relation, but at the time I thought, oh, it's not overly cheap. Bought the fabric, I thought, fab, I'm all set for a month. Got the PDF chart through, got this thing to the notice to say that my floss was being shipped and the fabric would be ready in a month, because it was hand-dyed to order. Oh, challenge is over by the end of the month. So that was a complete waste of time. So I got a bit, well, I didn't get cross with them at all, I was just cross with myself really. So I ended up coming off the challenge, and not, because I had nothing to contribute towards it. So I then stitched the pattern I wasn't all that fussed with. I think I got down and I ran out of the floss. I think probably around about here. So I only had 3 or 4 words left to do. So I had to buy another skein of the floss. And then of course the floss, this wasn't the floss that she recommended to use with this fabric. And of course she knows what she's doing and I don't, so it didn't stand out. So I finished it just with gritted teeth, thinking I'm just going to... Oh, and when the fabric did come through, I ended up having to dunk it because it wasn't particularly... I don't think it died. But anyway, enough slagging somebody off behind the back. I don't mean it from that point of view. It's a great shop. And it was my fault. I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, I bought another set of floss just to finish 4 words, which really grated. And then I stuck it in the bag of shame because I was so cross with it. I didn't like it. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with that? Because the words don't, if you're here, the words are fine, but anywhere else, and they don't really show up properly. I did try back stitching one of the letters, and just there's too many letters to be doing that with. So I thought, right, I'm going to turn it into a project bag. So that is what I've done. Zip top, project bag from Celeste Creates tutorial. Absolutely fabulous. So those are all my whips, those are all the finishes, and the one out of the bag of shame. I have a bit of haul and I haven't taken things out. So you'll have to excuse the crinkling, I'm sorry. So the first things that came through, can I show these without the glare? Yes, right. So this was a expo order that I put in with Patchwork Rabbit, because I don't think it came out until the back end of September. And actually it came out earlier than I thought, and I saw that old Patchwork Rabbit said they're in stock, and I received mine, the next day. So they do a fantastic job as always. And these are all by Laurie Pengelly under Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. Now I have seen a few other people have picked these up. And so we've got Faith, which is Fall at Pansy Patch Manor. I've got Peace, which is Winter at Pansy Patch Manor. Now my friend Chris has also bought this, and I think we're going to do this as a stitch along. Well, we are going to do it as a stitch along. We haven't decided when. but we are, I'd imagine, sometime during winter would make sense. We have Love, which is spring, Pansy Patch Manor. And Hope, summer, Pansy Patch Manor. So these are all absolutely fab. Looking forward to stitching those. And thank you very much to Patchwork Rabbit for their usual fast shipping and organisation. And the other thing I got through the post, there is a floss tuber called Cat V Stitches. And I think she started making floss tubes this year as well. Possibly only a few months ago actually, but she's quite regular with her floss tubes. And she does a lot of the cricket collection, and she was doing, at the time, I think in one of the first couple of videos, she was showing that she was doing one of the months of the cricket collection. And I had bought, at the very beginning, I'd bought January from the cricket collection because I thought I'd do those as a monthly series. But when it arrived, I wasn't actually that keen on it. So I'd stuck it in the bottom of the drawer. So when I saw that she was doing the monthly series, or some of them, I just contacted her and said, look, I've got the January. If you'd like it, please have it. You know, just take it. I'm never going to stitch it. So I sent it to her and she said, oh, you know, I'll sort out my charts. And if there's anything you'd like, please let me know. So she contacted me to say that she was doing a giveaway on her floss tube, Cat V Stitches. And these were the charts she was, you know, looking at giving away. Was there anything I'd like to have in exchange for my cricket collection? And I chose the Garden Gate from the Drawn Thread. So she very kindly sent this through to me, which is very kind of her. And also a card, which does make me laugh. And if you can't read it, it just says, wait, did you wash your hands? And that made me chuckle all day. Small minds easily entertained, I know, but this really did make me chuckle all morning. Every now and again I just go, oh. Anyway, so that came through. So yeah, so thank you very much, Catherine. And Cat V Stitches, as I said, on Flosstube. And I was watching one of hers the other day, and behind her, she has a long dog sampler. I can't remember which one it is, but she has a long dog sampler, and she's finished it, and B, she's fully finished it, and C, it's hanging on the wall, because these are obviously all stages that we have to go through, because I've got a lot of things that are still sitting on the floor waiting to be hung on the wall. And she'd say, oh, you know, it's my 1st year anniversary for cross stitch. I was looking at this long dog thinking, good Lord, you've stitched an entire long dog, you've finished it, and it's on the wall. That's not bad going for the 1st year of cross stitch. So if you haven't gone and checked her out, I have shouted her out before. If you haven't gone and check her out, please do. And then finally, plans. My plans will be to carry on stitching. I've got 3 big pieces that I haven't touched for the last couple of months, so I'll work those in. I am having a new start on November the 1st. I had initially planned, because I started one in July for my birthday, I started one in September, and I was going to just start a big piece every 2 months. But obviously with Christmas and New Year coming up, that's going to go out of the window. But I thought, well, I'll do one in November. And I have chosen, I think, fairly sure, 99.5% sure, but don't hold me to it, that I'm going to start the Huntsman from the Scarlet Letter. Absolutely love this. I have 3 pieces in a similar vein to this. So I've got the peacock, the badger, and the lion, is it? That everyone's stitching at the moment. And I thought, I'm not going to start that, because I've seen so many people stitching it for the moment, and they're all far further ahead than I am. And they keep on doing progress shots, and there is progress, obviously, but they seem to be taking a long time. And it's just one of those things where I'll start at the beginning and I'll see everyone else a long way away. And I just think, oh, no, I'll do that another time. So I'm going to start this Huntsman. Can't remember what the 3rd one I bought was. But anyway, so this is full coverage. I haven't decided yet. I might do it 25 count 10th stitch or something like that, or I might not. 10th stitch might confuse me a little bit counting wise. It doesn't take much, and 10th stitch might do it. But anyway, so I've got that one to start in November, and I will be using my new floss drops to hang my threads off of. And then because I've got quite a few starts coming up in December and January, I've got a few smaller pieces. So I've got like the Fine Farmhouse and that Pom, and yeah, just a few smaller pieces that I really want to try and crack on with and get rid of over the next month to 6 weeks, because I'll have these bigger pieces coming in December and January. Anyway, that is it. Short and simple. I'm finished, quite honestly. So thank you very much for watching. If you've subscribed, thank you very much. If you're a new subscriber, I'm sorry, that's very rude of me. If you're a new subscriber, and I have had some, thank you very much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll come back next month, so in the middle of November, for another Flosstube update. Please do like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, whatever. And I did put a QuiltyTube, my first QuiltyTube video out. Thank you to everyone who's watched that and commented on that. I might try and do a crafty tube at some point. I don't know. I'll just pop up every now and again. But if you're not interested in the quilty or the crafty tube, I will see you in the middle of November. Take care. Bye.